Hello, welcome to Sandy Springs FC TV, where we cover all things related to the only football club representing the city of Sandy Springs, Georgia. Our programs will cover match day reviews and behind-the-scenes features. So sit back and enjoy all the action from Sandy Springs FC TV.
For our pilot episode, we've got some treats in store for our fans. We'll review the most recent league game highlights to start the current ADASL season. You'll meet new star Rory Pratt in a sit-down interview with the striker. Hear what our gaffer Jay Broome has to say about the new look Sandy Springs FC, and much, much more. So sit back and enjoy our first ever episode of Sandy Springs FC TV. Eagle Sports Complex, conveniently located on Buford Highway just outside the perimeter in Doraville, Georgia, provides a structured soccer environment where young beginner and novice players can be professionally coached and advised. Families will find the arrangements that can be made to coach their children very inviting, and there's no limit to where these students of the game can go. Youngsters can also benefit from direction from active players on the senior team as they learn about how to handle on and off the field concerns when it comes to the sport of soccer in the United States.
And that's the thing, you have to work on your basic fundamentals to actually be good, and I try to encourage them into playing hard, playing smart, instead of just running around trying to dribble everybody. Play smart, play hard, and play as a team. Once you can learn how to play with a team, you can play with anybody.
And teaching it is actually better because you see the progress. It's like kids that come at you that have no idea what shape the ball is. Like 6 months to a year, they're touching the ball, you're like, wow. You don't just go, kick a ball, run as fast as you can, control it, drop it, shoot it. No. Here it's touch it up, touch it back, go back up. If you don't have anything, come back again. Go the other way, your way around it. It's like you're slowly, it's like a puzzle. Putting pieces until it works out. And then you put the last puzzle and it's your goal.
Welcome back to Sandy Springs FC TV, where we'll kick things off with the most recent league match for the club, which was against Relegators FC. Relegators were the team that knocked Sandy Springs out of the Parent Cup the previous season and were one place behind the Eagles in the league table going into this match. There was a determination from Sandy Springs right from the start in this one here, but for a fine save by the Relegators keeper from Muhammad's effort, Sandy Springs would have been ahead early on, but the domination continued in the match. Moments later, after another segment of sustained possession, new boy Rory Pratt was just off the mark with a header, but Pratt would prove to be a dominant force in the air all day. But the breakthrough would come soon afterward. Sandy Springs was already applying the pressure, making Relegators chase the game. And that pressure paid off when Salvatore Ortiz shook off a challenge and found an unmarked Santy Mokatsana for an easy tap-in and the 1-0 lead in the match. A replay shows that the Relegators had the numbers but not the organization to mark both Pratt and Mokatsana in the 6-yard box. It was easy from there. Slack passing was a disease for Relegators all afternoon, and it would cost them here with a Raul Monge intercepting, who would then put in Pratt. Relegators already under pressure brought down Pratt just outside the box and earned an early red card for the defender, which would prove key as the match went on. Pratt would recover, but in the resulting free kick, the wall did its job initially, and then the Tito Palma follow-up was wide of the mark, but the damage had been done to Relegators by the red card. The way Pratt was dominating up front, it was only a matter of time before he would get his own breakthrough, and he got it on 30 minutes after good approach play. Pratt beat his marker and looped in a header to double the lead for the Eagles. Again, from the replay, you can see that the marking was shockingly loose on a player with Pratt's size and ability, a mistake that was rarely corrected on the day. As the half wore on, it seemed only one-way traffic, and it was the direction of Sandy Springs. The threat was ever present in the potent Sandy Springs attack. In this sequence, only Robel Davis can tell you how he missed this follow-up from Tito Palma's rebound, but the miss would not cost Sandy Springs. The second half was more of the same. Sandy Springs allowed to liberally move the ball around unchallenged, and attacks seemed to go in one direction. Here, good approach play sees relegators really on the back foot chasing the game and a man down. A fine cross from Mokatsana presents a half chance to the head of substitute Aboubucar Fofana. Unfortunately, his header is a bit off the mark. On this sequence, Sandy Springs continued to weave around the relegators' defenders seemingly at will, ending with a shot by Raul Monge, who narrowly misses coming off the post. Midway through the second half, Sandy Springs finally reaps more fruit from the domination to this point. Captain Sal Ortiz worked his way through finding Fofana from 30 yards out, who decided to let loose with a long-range effort. The result was a spectacular goal and a 3-0 lead for Sandy Springs. The replay shows in this case there's nothing you can really do with such a shot. Fofana's reaction seems to say, "Cool as you like." Just moments later, Johnny Alvarado and Chris Moreno fashioned a chance forward for Mokatsana, who himself narrowly misses from an acute angle after beating the keeper. Earlier you saw Fofana put in a cracker of a goal, but now Captain Ortiz was about to steal the show. With options left and right of his position, he worked his way skillfully forward into a position for a chance of goal. The result is spectacular. The replay shows the shot was no fluke. Ortiz used his teammates to help him get into position, and his shot was deliberate. The goal rounded out the scoring on the day, and Sandy Springs would run out 4-0 winners and capture the 3 points on offer. In the league table, Sandy Springs remains in second place behind MOBA Upper 90 on goal difference. Next week is a tricky away trip down to Agnes Scott College to play Wings, who also defeated Sandy Springs last season in the league. We'll have follow-up reports on all the action with Sandy Springs coming up next week. Thank you for watching. This season's a little bit different than last season. I know that the club is making a transformation, kind of moving from a recreational club to a true football club. What kind of changes have been occurring at the club?
I think the biggest change is the level of accountability that I lump on the players as well as myself. This is not a, I'll show up to practice if I feel like it. If not, I won't. It's no practice, no play.
Right.
Period.
And how have the players responded to that?
Some of them have responded really well. We've actually attracted some players because of that. Other players, they've made their own exit. I haven't had to ask them to leave. They've left all on their own because they just want to kick around. They don't take it seriously, and that's cool. Yeah. There's plenty of places for them to play.
All right, and at this point, we're 3 games in. How are the results been?
Good. Definitely good. We haven't lost a game yet. We've kept 2 clean sheets. I mean, I can't complain about the win. This past Sunday, we played really excellent. But there's always a but with me, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist because I know we can play better. I know the quality we have on the field, and I know we can be better organized. We can play better.
Right.
Playing better doesn't always necessarily equal more goals. It does look prettier.
Yeah. So in that effort to play better, is that something that you can do in training? Is that something that you can work out in training?
Yeah, a lot of it is the right chemistry on the field. Does the right hand know what the left hand is doing? And I'm starting to see that click with several of the guys. I mean, we got a guy like Rory up top who just made his off-the-ball work on Sunday was just shy of amazing. Abu's going to take a minute to settle in, but I think once he does, a pairing of himself and Rory up top, I don't think anyone's going to be able to contain them once we put Gilmer, Chava, Robel behind them. Santy out on the wing. Santy played very well on Saturday. His off-the-ball work was also quite amazing. He was making the correct runs. He was about the only one that when I was screaming pressure, because these guys were slow. They were trying to slow the game down and hold the ball up. And when I'd yell pressure, Santy would play that chase role that Christian Ortiz usually fills because he's the youngest on the team and has boundless energy. Mm-hmm. But Santy was chasing it down, forcing the pass, was giving the rest of the team time to get inside the passing lanes to pick the ball up. Yeah. You know, it was good. It's coming together.
Great, great. Well, with all this added success, what does this mean for the community, particularly with businesses and the community in general for the team?
For me, I already believe we have a product out on the field. The way we play, our intensity level, our style of play, that the community can be proud of and get behind. I don't see anyone else playing at a sustained level like us. I do see other ADASL teams have a game or two, but I've yet to see one last season or this season in the style we play string together a season of it. You know, and every team has bad games, but you know, the ADASL is the ADASL. Right. It is what it is. So some of those guys are out there just to kick the ball on Sunday and have fun. To where, of course, I take it a little more serious, probably than other coaches in the league. I mean, most other teams don't even have a coach.
Right.
Well, we see more coaches this season, I think, with Aboubucar's academy in there. So I'm glad to see the level of the play come up, even if it's only, you know, 6 or 7 teams out of 20 between both D2 divisions. it's good to see. I mean, it's good to challenge. I mean, even if we lose to these guys, you know, it's if we lose, we lose. If we get outplayed, we get outplayed. You know, as long as we show up and play, I'll accept that. It's good for the guys to have challenges.
Well, great. Well, it's a great start to the season. You got maximum points so far. Got a good squad. Some guys coming off of injuries. So we look forward to talking to you again after the next few games. And good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right.
We are full-service photographers here at Images Frozen in Time. We offer beauty portrait sessions with all the glamour of a professional makeover. Our maternity and baby portrait sessions creatively capture those special family milestones. Baby showers, bridal showers, family reunions, and weddings are only to name a few of the events that we can help you capture. Let us professionally capture each and every moment of your special family moments so that they will forever be treasured as your family's images frozen in time. Give us a call today at 678-900-8317. Don't let those moments be lost forever, and let Images Frozen in Time be your photographers for life.
Well, there have been a lot of changes at Sandy Springs FC this year, and one of the new acquisitions we have is Rory Pratt from Ireland, and we're going to welcome Rory to Sandy Springs FC. How are you doing today?
Not too bad, thanks for having me.
Great, great. Well, before we get into some nuts and bolts about your playing for the club, I want to find out a little bit about your background. Tell us a bit about yourself and where you're from originally.
Well, I'm 25 and I play forward here for Sandy Springs, and I'm from Dublin, Ireland originally.
Okay, good deal. When did you first learn about, you know, football and playing football? How did that come about?
Well, football's been a part of my life since as far back as I can remember. I think probably the age of kind of 4 and 5. My parents took me down to a local soccer club, and they had this Saturday morning program for kind of younger kids. And so I started playing then, and played for that club. St. Joseph's Boys is the name of the club. Played for them until I was 18, I think. So from a young age, I was involved, and then I was playing every opportunity, in the house, in school, out in the park. Any chance we got, we were kicking the ball around. So.
Yeah, was it a big part of your family, your tradition, culture?
Yeah, it actually, funny you say tradition. My grandfather actually played and captained Ireland, the national team, and played for Everton for 11 years, amongst other teams and stuff. So it was kind of, I suppose you could say, kind of in the blood to begin with. And so that was why there was a big push, say, from my parents. They were really keen in the sport. My mum, it was her father who played. So yeah, from a young age, they not pushed it on us, but got us involved. And some of my earliest memories are being taken to Lansdowne Road to watch the national team whenever they were playing. And my parents, they actually themselves would follow the Irish team as much as possible. They were in Stuttgart in '88, Italian '90, USA '94, and they just loved following the Irish team. And then I'm also one of 5 boys, so we were all playing. So we were all playing.
So is there like a rivalry or competition amongst you guys?
A little bit. It's funny the teams that we support. As I just said, my granddad played for Everton. Yes, I support Liverpool, which is pretty bad. But,
oh my God, that's got to be pretty bad.
Yeah, my cousins got to me at a young age and stuff. So my mother's a huge Everton fan. My dad is Chelsea. 3 of my brothers are big Arsenal fans, and then myself and my youngest brother are Liverpool fans. So there can be a few tense days during the Premiership season, all right. But it's good fun.
Derby Day has got to be kind of an intense day for sure. Well, you mentioned you follow Liverpool or did as a kid, and who were some of your other heroes growing up?
Heroes, so I would say the 2 teams that I would have followed the Irish national team and Liverpool. So I suppose probably players that played my position on both of those teams. Keen obviously for Ireland. Liverpool, I was a big fan of the strikers the whole way through. Like even Ian Rush, Robbie Fowler, Michael Owen. I was fortunate enough to meet Michael Owen a few times when I was younger. Gerrard, obviously. Even Torres, I was a big fan of Torres and the way he played.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I would play that a little bit. But so yeah, they'd probably be the main people I'd aspire to be like.
Okay. Well, when did you have an idea about a career in the game as you were growing up? Is that something you wanted to do?
Yeah, definitely. You know, getting the chance to go and watch these players, you know, all year. You know, the Irish team and a few trips across to England to watch Liverpool play. It always would have been a dream of mine when I was younger to play professionally. And then it started to look like, you know, maybe this is possible. As I got older, there was guys on my team going across to England, and you know, one to Aston Villa, Nottingham Forest, and stuff like that. So it was always kind of in the back of my mind. You know, whether or not it would be possible, I didn't know, but it was always an aspiration anyway.
Good deal. So you know, you grew up there, following those clubs, but let's take you into the transition to getting to the United States. You play for a community club here in the United States?
In the United States, it was just college, so I finished up there in December, so that was the main schedule there. To be fair, there wasn't much of a club scene after schoolboy level in North Dakota, which actually, that's why it gave me a bit of, I had a few concerns about finding the right team, or being able to find an appropriate team here in Atlanta. I wasn't sure if it was going to be.
How tough was that? That was a question I had.
Yeah. So I thought, as I said, I thought that the club scene wasn't quite as developed, and I thought it would be similar to North Dakota in that it was mainly school and college. But I quickly found out that there was a lot of clubs around, but again, it was tough to be able to gauge which one would be an appropriate standard for me. I didn't know too much about the leagues, but I was very fortunate then to find Sandy Springs. Not only as a local, but a guy I met just in the area, you know, had great things to say about it. So that's why it was the kind of my first priority to come down and check it out.
Right, and I was going to ask you, how did that come about? I mean, as far as you live in the area of Sandy Springs, and then you heard about the club from there, and how did you actually get a tryout? How did that transpire?
Tryout. Well, as soon as I heard about the club, I thought I'll go down and check it out and see. I found out what times they were training, what times they were playing a game. So I came down and watched the game and thought, okay, I think this is a standard that I'd be up to playing. And went, had a chat with the coach, then met with yourself, and he agreed to let me come on and play a trial for a week or two and see if I was going to be a good fit for the team.
Yeah, and then we wanted you, so the rest is history there.
Thankfully.
So what kind of football opportunities does this open up for you, you think?
Well, for me it's great because to be honest, I thought maybe after college, in America anyway, I thought that might be it. I didn't think maybe there was a chance of me continuing to play at a high level. But I suppose it's kind of a gateway. Again, I know there's a lot of good teams in competitive leagues, so I think it might be tough to get recognised out there, but there definitely seems to be the structure in place to keep moving up and getting to, you know, whatever stage or level your aspirations are to play at. So the only team I'd heard of before was the Silverbacks before I came and stuff, so who knows?
Yeah,
it's just great to be back playing is the main thing.
It's great to have you with us. So, but now that you're with Sandy Springs, you've had a chance to, of course, play some games, and you've been in training. How's it been getting along with the new teammates there?
Yeah. So it was interesting at the start because it's the first time I've probably been in a situation where everyone else speaks a different language, but of course the majority of them all speak English as well. But it is interesting being the only one not speaking Spanish, which I thought might be a challenge at the start. But they're a great bunch of lads, and you know, very welcoming, and really made it easy for me to integrate. And even though I've only been down a short time, it feels now they've made me feel so welcome. It feels like I've been here for ages.
Great. So, and with Coach Broome, what has he told you about your role with the club?
Well, he definitely, it's interesting. There's an interesting mix of ages amongst the team, and I probably kind of fall a little bit older than some of them. So I think he's helping me to draw on some of kind of previous leadership roles. Like I was captain of my team in North Dakota for the 2 years, and my college team back in Ireland. But there's already a great set of leaders within the team. Our captain, obviously, Salvador Ortiz, and a lot of good personalities and stuff. So I think he just wants me to try and mesh with that as much as I can, contribute anywhere I can on the pitch, hopefully score a few goals, and maybe be the link man between the midfielders and some of the wide players.
Right. And now that you've played a couple of games, got a couple of games under your belt, how's that experience been?
Yeah, no, it's been good. As I said, I wasn't too sure what to expect in terms of the speed of the game and tempo and the standard, but I think now, after maybe the first game, I found tough getting back to kind of match fitness and stuff, but I think I've kind of settled in now, and the league seems to be a very high standard, but it's definitely going to be a good challenge, but one I think that we can compete well in. So. Great.
Well, I want to thank you for being on the show today, and officially welcome you to Sandy Springs FC, and look forward to many more games with you here at the club.
Brilliant. Well, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Now we'd like to welcome to the show Daniel Northington. He's one of the officials for the up-and-coming US-AFL, a league that Sandy Springs FC is very much interested in and looking to learn about. Daniel, would like to welcome you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself here.
Yeah, basically just a little bit about myself. I was born in Shreveport, Louisiana. Lived there for most of my childhood up until I was 13 years old. And then I moved out to Utah for a while, and I moved to Las Vegas, met my wife there, and married her there, and basically moved back to Utah for a while, and then moved out to Jersey. Now, because I did a school report when I was going to University of Phoenix, and it was about the whole system of an open league and all that. And from doing that school report, that's how I really fell in love with the whole system. And I thought to myself, you know what? We're a free market society in the United States of America. This can work for clubs. Not only could it just help a club, it can help players develop themselves. It can also help out the local economy too. And then it all started, when I got affiliated, I was going through an MLS blog or an article, and I saw one of the comments, fans for promotion and relegation of U.S. soccer. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay. There's someone that's interested in it. And basically, I got involved in it. It was a project that a gentleman by the name of Roger Ferrer from Bel Air, Maryland started. And I was like, you know what? How did we get involved in this project? I'm looking at, making a mission video. So I made an admission video, got involved that way. And from that point on, there was no turning back. It's like, you know what? We can do this. We can make this happen. If we can get enough people, to support what we're doing, all this could happen.
Yeah, it's interesting that you got involved kind of by way of a report that you did, getting that background in the sport and the way it's done outside of the country. So you got that interest, you got in touch with Roger, who I know very well. So how did it merge into what is currently known as the US-AFL? Tell the people out there, what is the US-AFL?
Well, the US-AFL is the United States Association of Football Leagues. And basically what our vision is for the leagues, is to get a group of leagues together, a state league within every 50 states, to work together as a cohesive pyramid that would give local clubs the opportunity to compete. It gives communities an opportunity to put a club out there to not just, be exclusive only to, big metropolitan areas with a high population for, sole marketing purposes to make more money, but to make it inclusive to all people. So basically that's what kind of led me to do this. And that's why I want to see all communities have the opportunity. You can be a town of 3,000, and if you're willing to fulfill the criteria to join the US-AFL, then you can compete. So basically that's how it all started. And we're a company that's registered in the state of Washington currently, and we are a nonprofit organization, which we actually achieved early this year. So moving forward, that's what the US-AFL is. We're about giving clubs the opportunity to compete in an open league structure, unlike what Major League Soccer and the NHL does.
Yeah, so, it sounds like I really do hear that motivation as to why you wanted to start that league, and that's what interests me, being a part of a relatively small club like Sandy Springs FC. Your desire to open up the game and the opportunities for those small clubs to move up on their own by their own work that's on the pitch and off. Is that sort of the motivation for starting that league?
Yeah, we want to give opportunities for all people, you know. Our country is a free market society. Everybody should have the opportunity to succeed, you know. It should be reserved for the people with the big bank accounts and all that, but it should be reserved for communities who are willing to come together to say, hey, you know, we want to have this opportunity to get our community on the map. We want to have this opportunity to know that, hey, we got talent within our community. And that's what motivates me to do this. You know, I want to see all communities say, hey, you know, if a team from Phoenix can do this, why can't we, you know? If a team from Atlanta can do this, why can't our town of, you know, 2,000 do this, you know? That's basically what it is, you know. We're willing to give anyone that opportunity as long as they're willing to fulfill that criteria. And we want to make the prices affordable for all people to be a part of what we're doing. So,
what would you say was the biggest difference between a league like the US-AFL and a league, say, like NASL and MLS?
I would say it's well of a difference big time. So now I know that the MLS commissioner, Bill Peterson, has came out and said that he's in favor of a system like NASL, but you know, for the NASL and all that, but I mean, seeing is believing. And the thing is, you know, even if they did open up that league, what about the small time clubs from towns of 2,000, 3,000, or 7,000? How would they come in? Would they have to pay the same price that a North American soccer league team pays to get in and all that too? And MLS, Don Garber, that's just basically, that's a no-go for him. He doesn't like the system. He doesn't want to do it. As mentioned in many interviews that he's had in the past, he's not in favor of a system. So yeah, the big difference between us and NASL and MLS is we want to do it. Right. Starting from season 1. Whereas to NASL and MLS, you know, NASL they're talking about, MLS they don't want to talk about it.
Right. So understood.
There's your difference between these leagues.
Yeah. In closing, and I appreciate your time and the information you provided us, but in closing, what would you want to say to teams, players, and fans, and even potential investors out there about the league?
Just basically, you know, encourage you guys to get behind us, you know, because this is like one of the very few leagues in the country that rewards hard work, that rewards people who get behind their club and support them, that want to put their community on the map, whether big or small. And what I like to say to investors too, this is something worth investing in too, because many people are going to watch this. They're going to want to watch it not just for, you know, for the fancy advertising and all that, but are going to watch it because they want to see the quality of play. They want to see players get the best brought out of them through a league like this. And also too, we want players to, you know, have that dream to say, you know, we want to give basically upcoming footballers the opportunity to go professional. And that's what an open league does. It provides the opportunity, not just for the clubs, not just for the, you know, supporters, but, you know, for the players too that want to be the next Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, or, you know, Steven Gerrard, you know. That's what we wanted to, you know, give those players the hope to dream again, to know that, hey, with the US-AFL, I have a greater opportunity to succeed, whereas in other professional sports league in the United States.
And I guess that's another question. I think there's some tentative plans for the beginning or when you're going to start play with the organization. Can you go into that in a little detail?
Yeah, technically we're looking to start August of 2015. For all clubs that are interested in joining, you know, that are outside of Sandy Springs, you know, if you're interested in joining, we open up registration on January 1st of next year. So that's one way to kind of, you know, start the year out with a bang. So yeah, I encourage you, you know, go to US-AFL.com. That's US-AFL.com. Check it out, you know. So we are opening up registration beginning January 1st. So
great stuff, Daniel. I appreciate your time again. And we look forward to, of course, talking to you again, maybe have you back on the show as we get closer to the sign-in days for teams and especially the start of the league, which we hope to be a part of.
Okay.
So we appreciate your time here today.
Thank you very much, Andre. You have a good day.
All right, you too.
for joining us at Sandy Springs FC TV. Coming soon, for a modest fee, you can subscribe to our weekly video program and receive exclusive video features. Your subscription proceeds will go to help maintain the soccer club in the local community. We'll see you next time. If you have any questions or comments, don't hesitate to contact us by clicking the link in the description below or sending us an email to info@sandyspringsfc.com.